Roast Christmas turkey breast. We have about 2.5 to 3 kilos of turkey breast, skin on, boned and rolled, ready to go. I've lined the roasting tray with some foil just to protect the tray a little bit, and a little bit of parchment or baking paper on the bottom as well. In here, just some butter and some extra salt. You could put in some other spices in here as well. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Slather this butter all over our turkey. Help to keep it moist, give it a nice color later on. I'm going to cover it with a little bit more parchment. That's going to stop the turkey sticking to the foil. For 3/4 of the cooking, we're going to kind of steam bake it. That should take about an hour before we check it. So we've covered the turkey to cook it. Initially, this has had an hour at 180 degrees in the oven. It feels firm all the way through. It's almost cooked. If you pierced it right now, the juices are pretty much clear. There might be a small pink blush to them, but we're going to finish this off. We want the juices to run clear. It's a good indication that the turkey is fully cooked. If it has pink in there, then there's still a little bit of cooking left to do. A bit of honey or some sugar, juices from the turkey. We're just going to throw back over turkey. Turn the oven up to about 210 degrees, and we're going to give this a good coloration. Finish off in the oven. In we go. Our turkey is brown now because of the extra butter and the syrup, and we've exposed it to a high heat. We just want to let this rest. Just going to double check that it's cooked. Make a big incision into it. Look at those juices all running nice and clear. No pink, no red. Go all the way through into the center of the bird just to make sure. And that's it. Leave it to rest for like half an hour.
And that is what you're looking for. Really nice, very, very crunchy, very, very crispy roast potato. A bit crazy, but you'll see the end result. Take the potatoes to the point where you would almost cook them for mashing, but they've got some form to them. That'll give you an edge to the potatoes that's already fluffed up, so you don't have to shake them crazily. Once you've drained them, they're ready to go. Drain the potatoes over a bowl to collect that potato water. These are almost completely cooked. Once the potatoes are drained, they need to cool down. As long as they're on a tray like that, then they're gonna cool down. When you're ready to roast the potatoes, you need a very, very, very hot oven. I've got the oven on for about 220 degrees, but take it as hot as you can. Put the tray inside the oven with the oil to get the oil very hot. Carefully remove the tray, pop the potatoes in. That's what you're looking for. Potato to basically look like it's frying. Those little bits of potato we need. Season with chicken powder. Don't worry about turning them now. We just need to get them back into the oven. Put the timer on for 20 minutes. Potatoes are ready. I'm just going to take them out of the oven. They've had 20 minutes. Now we're just going to turn them. And what we're looking for is that lovely color. They're going to go back into the oven for another good 20 to 25 minutes. High temperature. We're just going to take the potatoes out. Completely amazing roast potatoes. This is one of those jobs that you can do the day before to make your life easier. Cut the cabbage in half, and then with a sharp knife, I've just shredded it. Put it into a pot, and then we're going to add 2 cups of water, a good pinch of salt, soft brown sugar. You can add any sugar really. For 1 cabbage, 2 quite heavily heaped tablespoons. You can add any vinegar you want. This was a gift from my friend. About half a cup. Couple of glugs of olive oil. You can add butter if you like. We're going to do a cartouche. Pop that on top, pack it down a little bit, then put it on a high heat. You want to bring that to the boil, and then we're going to simmer it about 40 minutes. So the cabbage has now been cooking for a good 20 minutes on a fairly high temperature. Just remove the paper. What we want to do now is glaze it. Just give it a stir, and you can see it's actually quite shiny already. That is what you're looking for. I'm going to add mixed spice to the cabbage, just to give it a little bit more of a festive flavour. But for 1 cabbage, I'm going to add a tablespoon, and just stir that in. So you want to cook that cabbage without the lid, just so the sugar glazes up for 20 minutes. The cabbage is done. That's ready to go. No fuss method of glazing carrots. We've peeled them, we've topped and tailed them. Just going to cut them fairly chunky so they've got some kind of texture to them. We're going to put them in boiling water. We're going to use this water for both the carrots and the Brussels sprouts. Put the carrots in. I like to season the water a little bit, add some olive oil. So we're going to cook them for about 8 minutes, boiling with a lid. We're going to glaze the carrots, remove the carrots, a hot pan, a little bit of oil, put the carrots in, and we're just going to saute in that hot oil, and then we're going to add some honey. Turn it down to about a medium sort of heat. We just want to glaze them quite gently. We've got our Brussels sprouts, which I've trimmed, and I've removed the 1 or 2 leaves from outside that are a bit rough. No crisscross. I'm going to put the sprouts into the same boiling liquid that the carrots were in. You'll see that the water's not covering the sprouts. I'm going to put a lid, and I'm going to cook it 5 minutes. Take the sprouts from the boiling water. I'm going to pop them into the pan with the carrots, and then we're just going to mix them together, and we're going to continue to glaze them. Feel like it needs a little bit more honey. You can just add a little bit more. They're now pretty much done. We have got water that we've reserved from the potatoes, water that we have reserved from the vegetables. I'm going to mix them both together. You've got potato flavour, you've got carrot, you've got Brussels sprout. This is such a useful ingredient to have. And take it off the heat, and we are going to mix the stuffing. In your bag, you will have a packet of sage and onion stuffing. We're adding hot vegetable liquid to it, and we're just looking for it to rehydrate and come together as a very thick paste. It will sort of get to that sort of texture very quickly. We're going to add a little bit more to make it a bit thinner. We don't need to add any salt or pepper to this. All of the seasoning is in the stuffing mix. Leave that to sit for about 20 minutes and it will firm up so it's quite thick, and then we're going to roll it into balls. Make sure your hands are clean and a little bit damp. So we're going to take a bit bigger than a golf ball and then just roll it like that. And then they need to go onto a baking tray with a bit of oil, and we're going to put them in the oven for the last 20 minutes of cooking with the roast potatoes. Put them in the same temperature. So the stuffing's come out of the oven now. Nice dark colour, but not overcooked. Leave them out to rest. Reheat and serve at the right time. So now it's gravy time. Undoubtedly one of the most important parts of this meal, but nothing to stress about. Very easy. We've got everything we need. Reserved cooking liquid from the vegetables. Add to the pan. We've also got what is absolutely the key ingredient, which is the juice from the turkey, which I'm going to get as much as I can from. That is going to go into the pan as well. Bring this to the boil and then thicken it with Bisto. Bisto. Just add a drop of olive oil to the gravy and just mix it gently, not too much. That will just keep the gravy sauce-like.